Hello everyone, this is Sam, and for this second episode of Creative Gold Making, we will be having a look at a method that has been considered a staple over the years. I am of course talking about converting some currencies to gold, but today we will be doing it in a specific way that is actually applicable to other areas of the game. So without further ado, we're listening to the intro and diving right into the topic. So the place I am at right now is in Bloodtide Coast. Right in front of me there is a hot vendor who will save from that scale invasion. There we go. And we can now have a little chat with him. He sells a bunch of gear for Karma, and that gear is actually what interests us. So we're gonna get the cloth ones, these ones. We're gonna get 4 of them. This is important for our demonstration. We're now gonna get out of the scale attack zone and focus on the rest of our mission. These 4 gloves are now in my inventory. They are level 46 cloth gloves. And if I want to salvage them, I'm not going to be able to. The reason behind that is because they are karma items, and it would be way too good if you could simply exchange karma for gear that you could salvage and then sell the materials for gold. So the solution that the player base has found, and the solution that actually applies to some other areas of the game, not simply karma vendors, is using the Mystic Forge. When using the Mystic Forge, you're putting 4 items and getting a single output, and that single output usually loses all of its bound attributes. So here, for instance, we have these soulbound gloves that cannot be salvaged, but if I bring up the Mystic Forge and then forge them together, I am getting back a single strong magician gloves. It is level 51, which is within the 5 level range of the items I put in, so this checks out one of the ways the forge is working. But also, this item is not soulbound nor account-bound anymore, and as a matter of fact, I can also salvage it. So if I decide to sell it at the trading post, I would get a measly 49 copper out of it, yet if I salvage it, I get a linen scrap. That linen scrap is 1 silver, 20 copper. Naturally, I could have gotten more than a single linen scrap. I could have gotten also a different material, but at the end of the day, this is a form of exchange of one currency to another. Is it worth it compared to other methods? Naturally, this is very slow. It's a conversion of a currency, which is a lot of the ways you'll be making gold in Guild Wars 2 by exchanging currencies for the actual gold. But if you really think about it, what's important here isn't the result of this specific attempt, it's the method behind it. When you know a place where you can get items for cheap or for very little karma or for very little of a currency, and then you can just stack them up, forge them, and get proper materials out of them, that's a good way you'll be making money. On another point that is very important, knowing what levels of gear salvages into which materials is of paramount importance. And this is why the next video I will be making is gonna be on some economy basics for Guild Wars 2, seeing as we had, well, a lot more players coming with EOD, and we are hopefully getting the Steam release quite soon, which should also be a way to get more and more players in. With all of this said and done, I have one last announcement to make. I started the actual Patreon journey about 2 years ago. We were just ending the first lockdown of the pandemic, and I wanted to just upgrade the kind of videos I was making, upgrade the stuff I was offering on Patreon, all of that. And as a matter of fact, for these last 2 years, I gave patrons protected spreadsheets. So I'm going to be putting spreadsheets on Patreon that are either templates or actual sheets that I have made without the protections. So what that means is that you're going to be able to have a look at the formulas, you're going to be able to understand how I've made them, and most importantly, if need be, you're going to be able to modify the sheets and do stuff with it. That also means that I'm not going to offer support if you're heavily modifying a sheet and then I have to actually fix something for you, because that's going to take ages. But still, I think that it is a very good way for you guys to learn more about Excel and spreadsheets, and it's also a good way for me to give back to the community that has supported me without failing for these past 2 years. I've had an average of over 150 patrons a month, and that is a whole lot, especially for the fact that Gears 2 is a pretty small game, and there are some other content creators that are much bigger and deserve a lot of support as well. With this said and done, we're now at the end of the video. I wish to thank every single one of you for listening to this video. If you've made it so far, then that's amazing. You're also helping me with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to take that help a little step further, you can quite naturally subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a like, leave a comment. All of that would be very cool. And if you want to go even further beyond, there is always the Patreon. And now, I wish every single one of you some happy trading and to get rich.